What's up, guys? What's going on? How are you? I'm back with another episode of Retro Game Night with Hebot. And this little episode, we're going to do an arcade classic from Sega, which is basically the sequel. This is a sequel to a big known Sega property that unfortunately it was criminally left only on the PS2 console. This is on the PlayStation 2, and this is none other than Sega's arcade classic, which didn't come out in a lot of arcades either, known as the Route, the King of Route 66. You see, it says PlayStation 2, and it's a Sega game, and it has a nice silhouette and like a chrome of the woman there. I love this abstract cover; it's pretty awesome. And it's actually the sequel to this little game right here, which we all know from the Sega Dreamcast, which was 18-wheeler American Pro Trucker. And unfortunately, due to the support or lack of support from Sega for the Dreamcast, once they stopped distributing the Dreamcast, they stopped releasing games on the Dreamcast, which me, personally, I thought was kind of dumb, because the Dreamcast did very well when it came out. It did a lot of good sales. People were still talking about it. It was a lot of buzz, and it was kind of a surprise once everybody heard that they were stopping production, because people started talking about, when PlayStation really, maybe about a week or two after the success that Peter Moore was talking about with Sega, PlayStation and Sony came out and said, hey, guess what? We're making PS2. When they had no plans of announcing it, because they were still enjoying their laurels from the PS1. Because there was no competition. That was the only console. Saturn had failed and was out of the market, and Nintendo really didn't have no other console yet in the market until years later with the Ultra 64. And so Sega just kind of said bye to their own property, their own console, pretty early, and started supporting the console from the company that actually helped kill them, because Sony goes or finished them off rather, because the Dreamcast was successful. Even though they had some hiccups with Saturn and with the Sega CD and the 32X, they got back in their place with Dreamcast. But once Sony said, "Oh, we're making the PS2, it's going to be 100 times more powerful than the Dreamcast," and of course I'm, ad-libbing, it's exaggerated, but that's kind of, you get the idea. They exaggerated with their numbers like they do with all their consoles. Then they were like, "Oh, we're going to have a DVD player, forget it." Everybody was like, "Oh my God, it's going to have a DVD player too." DVD players at that time were $500 from the market. So it was going to be the cheapest DVD player that came with a console that you can play. And, people were like, "I'm not buying it, I'm waiting." But they said it was going to come out within a year. So, and promises of all these fantastic games. And when it launched, it had one of the most horrible game libraries in launch history. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. This is on PS2. I still think it should have been on Dreamcast, or a port of it, whether it was in Europe or here, something. Support it, because I think it would have still done well. People would have bought them and gravitated, because it is a Sega arcade classic. So we're going to get in here and start playing this. As you see here, the title, old school style man talking for the title, like Sega, like all Sega games, where it says the title of the game. These are your features, obviously. You have Queen of Route 66 for the ladies, and the King of Route 66 for the gentlemen. And the Route 66 for the Queen is actually broken down more like you have more, it's more like a RPG. Like you could actually level up by parts like engine, mufflers, tires, back cabin, all that stuff for the truck. So what I'm gonna do is, I originally did this and I put this video up, and I picked a young lady, which is here, hell high, cat, Highway Cat. But the video towards the end, after I had an interruption with a phone call and I got all upset, it got messed up on me and it went completely black. So for all those who watched it, I apologize. Forgive me. I'm going to redo it again as I am now. And, present it to you guys again. Hopefully with no disturbance and no cutoffs. So, here we go. This one had a story mode. Talking about Tornado is a bad group coming in, trying to take control of the highways of Route 66. See? So it was kind of cool that they added this. This wasn't, I believe, in the arcade version. It might have been. I'm not sure, but I don't think it was as in depth with the story. Hero to deliver from the tyrannical tornadoes. So yeah, turn off the light in the hallway, please. Here's the cutscene, CG. Now the game, this is exactly like the arcade. Problem is, it looks really, really jaggy. But for the PS2 standards, wow, he hit that old man. What a jerk. But for the standards of PS2, it was translated over fairly well. If this would have been the Dreamcast version, I think it would have been more polished, softer looking, and a lot more true to the essence of the arcade. For what I understand, here it is: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 levels altogether. Each level has about 3 sections that you got to pass, or 2 sections, and you move on to the next level.
Hey there, how's it going? I'm Annie. First, I need you to take the cargo to
okay,
the
here's the
harbor.
cargo. So
And be careful. Tornadoes causing
this one added a lot more gameplay element than the original 18-wheeler.
Oh, come on,
The original 18-wheeler was just 3 tracks, and you did a little bit of parking and loading just as bonus points. Kind of like, think about it like Street Fighter when you destroyed the car with your hands.
You must get to the goal before.
Here we go with this hot dog.
Let's settle this on the road, man. Then we'll see how good you are.
Still talking that truck of garbage. Look at that. So anyway, this didn't see the arcades in many places. So with this one, I'm going to pick the original driver.
Ready? Get going.
And for the sake of the stream, I left it on easy. Just in case, because if the game is pretty hard, it's very unforgiving, I'll tell you that right now. If you... There we go, I passed it. If you don't know how to play it, believe me, even on easy mode, it's difficult. It really is really difficult. And you guys will probably see that as I'm playing. Well, I probably won't be able to finish it and make it. Without trying it numerous times. So to keep going, I didn't even save it. See the noise. Now we gotta do something else. Illinois.
Welcome to Blue Harbor. I'm Jean-Pierre, the owner. I saw you battle earlier. Looks like you're the trucker for me. I've got a job for you. Get to the AC delivery center quickly.
So again, like I said, you see here, gives you a nice layout of the map. It has a nice little story. And this game, it stayed exclusive to the PS2. And it kind of sucks because, to be honest, games that are from third party shouldn't stay exclusive for a very long time. Unless, they were paid for by that set company, obviously. But in this case, I don't think this was paid by anybody. In this case, I just think it was Sega putting it there because the reality is that they had The reality is they had no more. They had nowhere else to go. So I guess they figured, oh, let's put a lot of exclusives on the PlayStation console, especially since PS2 did well because of the success of one. That people that
You're a
bought
great
one
driver.
followed Sony with PS2 and with the whole, oh, let's do we put we have a Blu-ray player and all that shenanigans type of stuff that had nothing to do with gaming. But of course, at that time, it was amazing because it was Sony. Sony was doing it, so it was acceptable. It was amazing. So it was different. So Sega, and still to this day, to be honest, they kind of kissed their butts, for lack of a better term, and I really hate that because they got a lot of games that they keep on that platform. Especially Japanese-centric games like Tristan North Star that they just did for PS4 and Yakuza, and now they're trying to do that Judgment game that looks just like Yakuza. When the creator tried to claim that he took the game ideas to other people like Microsoft, but they said no. But then that was never ever talked about or archived in any article. Nobody ever said that, but that's what he claims now, years later.
I guess I just wanted to tell you that you're not alone. Just hang in there.
Which I'm pretty sure that wasn't the case, because nobody embraced the Xbox OG in Japan. I think it was more about supporting their own brand and being nationalist. And I'll say that multiple times because it is what it is. That's exactly what it is. They support their own product before an outside product. That's how a lot of people in the Japanese culture and Japan have been for many, many years. It's not just something that we're saying to sound like we're trying to be, offensive, or even for some people trying to be racist, which is not. It's just a fact.
You might just be able to save Route 66.
The only thing they've embraced over there,
I got a job for you.
a whole lot,
Pick any of these here jobs.
is like things like the Apple phone, because it's like the hip thing all over the world. They like all the things that are hip, especially the teenagers, or playing mobile stuff on the go. Even though that resonated mainly from over there. Oh, look, it's cool. I'm gonna pick the name. Or like Jordans. They love Jordans over there, because it was so big and popular over here. So things like that is what really is really what does well from over there, that has to do with the American culture.
Excellent. I'm counting on it. And watch out for any tornado truckers. They've been harassing all the other truckers around these parts lately.
Even cars, they mainly support their own, and maybe some European.
I know you.
Oh boy, this guy.
The most feared truck. Don't tell me you think you can beat me without beating up.
And that's me actually, whatchamacallit, hurrying up the dialogue for the sake of the video, not to make it too long. I will tell you this game would have benefited on Dreamcast also, because I think it would have been more to the standards of 60 frames. Because I'll be honest with you, this version to me looks to be, oh, he's mad. This version to me looks to be only 30 frames. And that's what happened with a lot of Dreamcast games when they went over to PS2 as ports. Because that's what happened also with that game, F1 Challenge, Ferrari Challenge. Same thing happened to that game. It was 60 frames on the Dreamcast, and then on the PS2 it was only 30. They added a nice behind the camera mode, but it still wasn't as smooth. It didn't feel as smooth. So, you know, look at this moronic moron. Oh, he's such a jerk. This guy's such a jerk. Look at that. He got like a super hyper. That was funny. Like he got a boost with no nitro and just beat me when I had him. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And this is on easy mode, ladies and gentlemen. Which says a lot of how nuisance the AI was in this game. So yeah, like I was saying, the game was originally built. The game was originally built on Dreamcast Naomi board, so it would have ran perfectly on the Sega Dreamcast. But again, that didn't happen because it never came out. There was never a port, and that's why I said it's criminal, because they did that with a couple of games. When they try to port them over it, like DOA didn't ran nowhere as smooth as it did on the Dreamcast. And then shout outs to my boy Sega Man 101, because look at this. Oh my god, he made me miss that. Because he pointed that out on his pickups video, or not his pickups video, on his Sega Dreamcast collection video that he did about his top 10 Dreamcast games. And he pointed out that his DOA for him was a better experience on the Dreamcast. And it was because it was made from scratch. Oh my god, why did he do that? It was made from scratch for the what you call it, the wow, this is terrible on my part because I should have remembered. Oh, he beat me again. Cause you know, it was just it's true. If I lost my train of thought, you know, it's true that it was felt better, ran better, had a smoother and crisper look, more like it. You could tell that it was made and designed specifically for that hardware and not ported to emulate on another hardware. Because the PS2 hardware was nowhere near as arcade intricate or ready as the Naomi board. The Dreamcast was basically an arcade board inside the console. The only difference was that it had less memory than the arcade machines, obviously. Look at this dude. This dude he's unbelievable. I can't do it with this guy. He's being an absolute cheater and jerky. Look, he's so threatened. That's amazing. He's so threatened. He knows he can't beat me unless he cheats. He's throwing barrels at you. And from what I understand, no. Oh wow. From what I understand in the arcade, from what I understand, because I never played this in the arcade. I think I saw it once, but never got to play it. Was that from what I understand, is that they took out features on this version from the arcade to the arcade version. I was like, really? Huh? You wouldn't, you know, think that or suspect that. Oh, I changed the camera. Look. What a jerk off. Look. Oh my god. And he still won. Oh my god, I can't believe this crap. This dude is an AWOD. I told you, ladies and gentlemen, it's just so annoying the way they designed it. Because, you know, there's a difference when you design a game to be difficult, you know, and challenging, which is fine. But when you do it when it's pure BS, that really gets me upset. Because it's almost like a person that plays video games that's not really skilled, so they do cheating tactical things just so that they can come on top. The way they would do, like in the arcade, they kept you in a corner, the fighting game being cheesy, that type of stuff. It's like, oh, that really irks me because that's not the way, you know, that's not the way. I'm gonna cut him off right here. And that's not the way it should be, you know. Play right or don't play at all. And be a booty hole about it. Oh, he's gonna do it to me again. What? Look. Oh my God, he really went there. Unreal. See what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen? This is what I'm talking about. He has no nitrous. He's not doing nothing that. Look, he's not. He's just cheating. He's straight up cheating. Wow, wow, that is crazy. That is nuts. I'm really getting upset right now with this. But it just goes to show you that that's how most Sega games were. They were always like that. They were where you know, you could be very skilled, and no matter how skilled you were, they were always difficult to put your skills to the test or try to annoy you in one way, shape, or another. So you know, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Shouldn't have any business. Look, in a video game. It shouldn't, because it kind of makes the game feel like the game is broken. Look, this guy he was behind me, and there's no other way to go around, and he came around me on the other side. Oh, that's great. It's fantastic. The BS that this game does. Dude, stay your lane. Stay your lane, dude. Dude, stay your lane. Look, my truck was like funny now. Oh, that's terrible. Look. He's trying real hard to beat me. Look. Oh, wow, that's funny. That is too funny. So when you have to be cheesy in order to pass it, that's when it becomes no longer fun. It almost becomes like more of a, oh, well, let's figure out how to cheat in order to, you know, pass the game. It's not about the skill set, you know, and that really irates me. Okay, so as you can see, now we're in Oklahoma. There's Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California left. Wow.
This is Annie. Do you copy?
Tornado goals are causing trouble at the truck service area. Okay.
Head to Anton Truck Service.
Okay. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Ready? Get going.
So here we go. Let's see. Okay, I got to Anton's Truck Services. So like you see, it's a very arcadey style game because it was an arcade game. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the only thing that's wrong with that is that people want more content for the value of their games. But to be honest with you, so if it has an arcade feel and experience, a lot of people will be happy because they grew up with that style of games, like the arcade shooters, like Virtual Cop or something like House of the Dead or Ghost Squad or or Time Crisis, which are fun experiences. Even though they are kind of short and sweet.
Hey, it's time to pay up.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't afford to pay that much.
Uh-oh.
What? This
These
is
bullies
the
are
fee for
Tornado.
Tornado Services. Are you trying to say that Killer Bee's driving ain't good enough for you? No. What?
Have you noticed the dialogue of
All right,
all
Bigfoot, get.
of all these Sega games
Don't you
from
worry.
back
You
in
don't
the
have to
day,
put up.
or
What do
even
you
until
want?
now, I
We're
think,
here to take
with
you
the more
out.
recent ones that I've seen,
Now show the
like
tornadoes
House of the
what you
Dead,
can do.
Scarlet Witch, I think it is part 5 of House of the Dead, which is only in the arcades, by the way. They always had cheesy dialogue, people talking with very cheesy dialogue, very slapstick. Crocodile reminds me of the movie Alligator, or Lake Placid, rather. I'm gonna do the Sega World just because it's fun. And Sega World, for those of you who may not know, is actually a real arcade,
Ready?
or what Sega used to have when they had arcades around the world.
Incoming. Just there's no time.
Ouch! Damaged it a
Watch
little
out,
bit.
you're gonna
Crap!
break
Stopped too
something.
late. That's what they would call their arcades. I think they still exist in Japan. There used to be one
So, you're
back in the
the
day
trucker. I'll show you.
in the Mayagüez Mall in Puerto Rico, where my mom originated from, came from. My grandmother used to live, and my aunt still lives there. And I used to go there whenever I went to Puerto Rico to visit,
Ready?
to like check it out. I used to go there briefly, and I used to get really excited because of that, just to go see it because it was really different in the sense that it felt like a really Sega centric kind of place. It had Sega, memorabilia and like historical things from Sega, a lot, all over the place. So it was cool. It really felt not just like a regular traditional arcade. It felt like a Sega museum as well. Oh, look, rain is kicking in. Oh man, I was trying to get that nitrous from. Oh boy, there's another nitrous that was there. Oh my god, stop it. Why does it do that? And of course, this jerk. Oh my god. I can't do this with this dumb dude. These dumb dudes get me mad. And of course, it's, you have to learn the tracks, and that's pretty much what I pretty much know the tracks. I haven't played this game in a long time though. But like I hate that it does everything you do. Like if the AI can read your mind, that gets me so upset. I don't like that at all. So here we go. Oh boy. He's just killing people off the road with no care or regard. Unbelievable. Oh my god. Look at this. Look at this. Look. And of course, and act like he can get away with it, and it's fine.
Here we go.
Oh my Jesus, I really hate this guy.
Got it. Here we go.
still trying to win. Wow, that's crazy. So I made it to Circle World. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play maybe one more level, so you guys can see. And pretty much you get the idea. And it, like I said, I really, oh man, there's some breakups in there in the graphics. And around this area here, you saw breakups on the floor. And like I said, it's very arcadey, but it's nice that they added some nice features, especially with this one. They added a lot of content, and I think that's the best way to translate over an arcade game. Then he looks like Kingpin, or like a Crossdale Kingpin. I think the best way to translate any arcade game would be to just add more content on top of what was already there with the existing arcade game in its full 100% translation. So that way when people buy the game, they won't feel cheated or like, oh, it's not worth the money, it's too expensive, and it's not enough content, things like that. Oh boy, he's running into these guys again. These two dudes are just jerks. So I skipped it. We're in Texas now. Let's do this real quick with this Texas level.
I've been waiting for you. There's been a lot of talk about you these days. We're all
Oh, he's a
hoping that
chef.
you'll finally be the one to defeat. Now let's get down to business. This here's the best beef there.
Yeah.
If you deliver it for me, I'll give you a plate.
Ah, you want to give me a plate of food and steak. You got that right. I don't care.
I ain't gonna let you deliver my steaks.
So we're doing the steaks. Let's take these steaks. And graphically, it still holds up pretty well. It looks nice. It has vibrant colors. Typical traditional Sega game, like always. I'm gonna take a shortcut here. Oh, he's a jerk off. He saw me take the shortcut, so he took it. Wow, that's fucking crazy. This guy really gets on my last freaking nerve, man.
Here we go.
Yes, I beat him. Nice. So guys, look, it's always a pleasure to do these for you guys. It's a lot of fun doing them. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, if you viewed the first one, you have an idea of what I was trying to do with this game. I think I played it maybe a little bit longer. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, I still appreciate all of your support. Thank you. Hope to see you soon in the next one. I have a couple of things lined up for Wii and Dreamcast and 360 comparison. No, PS1 and Dreamcast comparison, just for the sake of fun. I'm going to call it a retro comparison. And then I'm going to have also a 360 arcade game that was on the Dreamcast, but then it came to 360 through the Xbox Live and never has not gotten backwards compat yet. So thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna give you one last race here, just for the sake of it, because I think it's a quick one, and it's gonna be a doozy one, right? Gotta make it through this place here. Let's see what happens. I'm trying not to crash too much. Nice. Keep all my bonuses. Yes. Nice. Alright, guys. See you in the next one. Love you. Like, comment, and share it with anyone you think might enjoy it. And like I told you in the past and tell you always, It means a lot to me because I know you don't have to, but if you do, you become part of my
Looks like
family.
you're as fast as they
And
say you
also, I'll leave in the link down below in the description my link to my PayPal account. So if you want to do any little small donations from the kindness of your heart, it would mean a lot to me. You don't have to. It's if you want to. It's just there as an option. I don't have a Patreon. I'm not sponsored. But I do pay for all this stuff out of pocket. And for me to continue to give you content, it would make it a lot easier if I got some type of help, which would be really appreciated. Again, you don't have to. So it's just there as an option if you want to. See you guys in the next
Here's
episode.
what I got.
Love you very
Choosing
much.
to follow
Xbox for
John.
life. Like a sickness that can't be cured. That's my saying. That's my slogan, people. Don't get triggered. It's just gaming. It's all in for fun. See you soon, guys, in the next one. And, keep it trucking. Let's see what they told us to pick here. Uh-oh. Let's pick the train. Yay! The reward's 22,000. That's a lot.
Put the trailer up.
Alright, guys.
Ready?
I guess I'll
Get
pop
going.
the trailer, right? So to speak, like they say.
Looking good. Looking good. There's no time left.
See you soon.
All
Bye.
set.